Expanding your territory. Are you happy to hear such? I'm about to expand my territory. Wow. Expanding your territory. Now, when you talk of territory, territory is a defined zone owned by a person or a people. It's a defined zone owned by a person or a people. And for you to expand your own territory, it means you definitely enter another man's territory. And you don't enter another man's territory without war. There must be a fight for you to expand your territory. That is why I need to talk to you before you travel out of this country, or else you enter into trouble. Haven't you seen that most of your brothers who left instead went into suffering? Because they expanded their territory physically without taking charge of it spiritually. Nobody should hasten you to expand your territory physically without covering it spiritually. You may not come back alive. There is a right way of leaving a territory to another one. If Moses has to run from Egypt, it won't work. He has to still come back and live rightfully. If Moses runs from Egypt, he will not run forever. One day, he will still come back to Egypt to leave Egypt legally. Am I communicating? So it means you don't run from your trouble. You must solve it. Moses ran from his trouble to somewhere else. And God told him, go back there. You will still leave Egypt, but there's a prescribed order to leave Egypt. Expanding your territory. Are you happy to hear such? I'm about to expand my territory. Wow. Expanding your territory. Expanding your territory. Are you happy to hear such? I'm about to expand my territory. Wow. Expanding your territory. It's a must heard message. It's a must owned message. Now, can you tap 3 people? Tell them, expanding your territory. Or better still, tell him, expand your territory. Expand your territory. Oh, yes. Authority needs to be expanded. Right? Now, when you talk of territory, territory is a defined zone owned by a person or a people. It's a defined zone owned by a person or a people. And for you to expand your own territory, it means you definitely enter another man's territory. And you don't enter another man's territory without war. There must be a fight for you to expand your territory. And now, the whole world, the Bible says, the devil is the God of this world. So it means he owns all the territories. That is why I need to talk to you before you travel out of this country, or else you enter into trouble. Haven't you seen that most of your brothers who left instead went into suffering? Because they expanded their territory physically without taking charge of it spiritually. Nobody should hasten you to expand your territory physically without covering it spiritually. You may not come back alive. This message is a must heard. Am I communicating? Yes, that is why you leave your village to the city without planning well. The city changes you. A girl who doesn't love trousers is now coming back to the village with a kolang. She didn't take charge of the territory before she left. Am I communicating? So don't just see that I have applied to a school abroad. At times, God denies your application to be granted because He wants you to take charge before you escape. There is a right way of leaving a territory to another one. If Moses has to run from Egypt, it won't work. He has to still come back and live rightfully. I need to go to US. If Moses run from Egypt, he will not run forever. One day, he will still come back to Egypt to leave Egypt legally. Am I communicating? So it means you don't run from your trouble. You must solve it. Moses ran from his trouble to somewhere else. And God told him, go back there. You will still leave Egypt, but there's a prescribed order to leave Egypt. There is a defined method. Don't just run and you go into US. There's a job in Dubai. They are taking people to Kuwait. You just apply and you're going far. You will still come back to Cameroon to fulfill the legal way of living. Check everybody in this ministry who somehow spend time with God very well before traveling. He or she doesn't suffer abroad. You just leave, you have to just continue. Is that how your life is? No wonder God paused me for a while to understand Him before I proceed. After I had advanced level, God said, money, stop. Because if you come, this boy won't know me. If I had money enough after having advanced level, I won't stand where I am now. I know myself. I know myself very well, you know. I could have been very good in something else. Hey, when I was in Kumba, my nickname was Americana. I haven't told you. They were calling me American. In the midst of poverty, I was struggling to rap. You know, I love living in this country. I had gone while I was still here. Lebra Gozahadas. Are you still here? So that was my name. So God knew if money associate this lifestyle, this boy won't know me. Hey, money, get away. Every poor man prays. I had to spend time with God. Spend time judiciously. Neither did I know I was expanding my territory. There are pastors, there are pastors who are running churches of 100 and believing God for a church of 10,000, and they haven't paid the price for 10,000. You don't wish to become Bill Gates, you work to become it like that. So you work and expand your territory. This is a must-heard message. You see, on Sunday night, that is just clapping and tight. Church will be full and overflow everywhere. Since it's just... But now like this, no. They are at your work side. Some are mechanics, some are seamstress. You know, they are trying to catch up with money. If you understand life, you will see people are misusing their lives. Because they are struggling to expand their territory in the physical. This message is Sapro Galaska, Vandaska Frishka, Frahada Skalizga. You see a young girl walking, she's a seamstress. And they have given her a lot of work. Piled. She sees it as money. She works from Monday to Sunday. She doesn't sleep. I love sleep. I love sleep. Not that I love to sleep. I love sleep. I love the formula of sleep. You can't bypass it. It's better to sleep when it comes. It will still come. And when it wants to come, it will come at the wrong time. That night, that lady ought to walk and sleep at the night. She doesn't want to sleep. She's trying to expand her territory. She wants to have money, and she refused to sleep. She opens her eyes very well. Drink all the drinkables, cafe, Coca-Cola, all her. She bathes every 10 minutes just to be up. And she was successful. She drove the sleep off night. And in the morning, she started working out very hard. Towards afternoon, she sits on the machine, paddle, paddle, paddle. And that's wrong because you are sleeping during work. Jesus said, I must walk the works of him who has sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man walks. You sleep. So that lady is against time. She's against prosperity and hoping for prosperity. She's struggling to catch up with money. They see what the devil does. The devil allow you to work all night, Monday to Sunday. You don't go to church on Sunday. Talk more of Wednesday. You don't go to church. You are struggling to catch up with finance. You do all the don'ts and the do's. You are trying to see how many things will be. You struggle. Junior has gone to school. Now you want to pay the rent. You struggle and pay the rent. You are not expanding spiritually. You're expanding physically. Do you know what the devil will do? He will allow you to gather the money where, when it's about 500,000, you are thinking of what to do. The devil says, shut up. Do you think it's your own? It's not yours. Let me show you how I can take it. He won't touch you. He goes to Junior. When he touches Junior, bam! You rush Junior to the hospital. Now they tell you that you have to rush to Douala, to Lakantini. You go there, they have to put him on oxygen. And they need 322,000. You have to rush to the house. Thank God I have saved money. You take the money, you rush there, and they do this and do this and do this. Now, Junior is now well. You have spent only 480,000. But thank God Junior is back to life. You two are back to square one. So Junior is taking you back to square one. No, Junior carries you back to square one. Am I communicating? So I'm still struggling to build a foundation before we start. For you to know which territory are you now? What are you struggling to cover? It's better to plant in a farm and don't eat that day. Once you know it's a fruitful farm, plant and don't eat, no problem. One day, you have enormous surplus. But a man who plants and eats, as you plant one cocoyam, you eat another one. So either during harvest, you won't have anything. Expanding your territory. I don't know if you are here. We're going to read a long verse now. That's how I'll begin. The book of Mark chapter 4 verse 33. Mark chapter 4 verse 33. Okay. Are you there? And with many such parables, spoke he the word unto them, as they were able to hear it. But without the parables spoke he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples. Wow. He expounded all things to his disciples. And the same day when the evening was come, he said unto them, let us pass over to the other side. Let us expand our territory. The devil heard it. Many people, no, let's read. We'll come down there. Let's get over to the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude and took him, even as he was in the ship, and they were also with him, other little ships, and there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship so that it was now full. And when he was in hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow, And they awoke him and said unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is he that ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly and said unto one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Did you notice that's the end of the verse? But let's see chapter 5 verse 1. Immediately the Bible says, and they came over unto the other side. So they finally arrived to the other side of the sea, in the country of the gardeners. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately he entered a new level. Immediately there was met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could be to bind him, no man could hold him, no, not with the chains, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked aside asunder by him, and the fetters broke into pieces, neither could any man tame him. This is how strong the man was. And also night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself. He was in the mountain and tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. He was cutting himself with what? Stones. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God, that ye torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, What is your name? And he answered, saying, My name is what? Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Out of the country. The meaning of country is territory. Don't send us out of this territory. Now, there was near unto him a mountain that gate with swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Jesus gave the leave. And the unclean spirit went out and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. And there were about 2,000. And were choked in the sea. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. And they came to Jesus. What happened? They came to Jesus and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion, sitting and clothed, and in his right hand mind, or his right mind. And they were afraid. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. They explained the issue, the scenario. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coast. And when he was coming to the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him. Howbeit Jesus suffered him not, and said unto him, Go home to thy friends, and give testimony. Some of you, God does things here, you go home, you don't tell your friends. And your friends will tell you when something bad happens. When something good happens, tell them. They should be confused. How can a cultist give bike free? How can a cultist give money free? They are confused in their mind. You go home and keep quiet. Jesus says, don't go and keep quiet. Go home to your friends. Tell them how great things the Lord has done for thee, and had compassion on thee. And he departed and began to publish how great things Jesus had done for him. And all men did marvel. People don't marvel at preaching, they marvel at works. Am I still here? And are you still here? They marvel at works. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet and besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter. He brought his own kids. When people see your testimony, they have hope of their own. I don't know, am I communicating? The reason why it seems as if nearly everybody here is praying to God with passport A young guy who was playing the jazz here, looked for passport, he looked for visa everywhere, he could not. He just came in mistakenly and saw the jazz, started playing, visa answered. Without arranging his territory, he left. Now, some of your brothers who are out suffering, let me show you why they are suffering now. Huh? So you stop begging God to help them. You tell them to come back first. Come and build your territory. Or better still, when you're out there, look for a place and submit and serve. That's the only way. Now, let's get something. Jesus was on this side. Notice there was no demon. Some people are angry with temptations. Some people hate persecutions. And they will never get to the other side. Each time you plan to expand, be ready to meet the devil on the way. Now, let me show you the real story. The devil knows you more than you know yourself. Hey, let me baffle you. The devil have faith in you more than you have faith in yourself. The devil have faith in you so much so that he knows your tomorrow. He's fighting you now. So he knows who you are, which you don't know. That's why the more trouble you have, understand who you really are. Nobody is understanding you in your community, in your meeting house, in your department. Know who you are. They don't understand you that much. They misunderstand everything you do. The devil attacks more than 40, 30, 20 years before time. Check every strong man of God in the Bible whom God used had an attack when he was born. Am I communicating? The devil knew who Moses was. When Moses was born, he struck to see if he can kill Moses as a baby. He couldn't kill Moses as a baby. He tried Jesus when Jesus was born. So the devil will not fight you when you are inside your territory. No. He will fight you before you step in. When Jesus was at the other side, no attack, no problem. But the moment he voiced, let's get to the other side, the demons in that young man at the other side heard it. They were the ones who stirred up the storm. They stirred up the storm for Jesus not to be able to reach. The storm did not come because Jesus wanted to do miracle. That's why he slept. He never expected it anyway. He was not expecting it. So the devil knew he's coming. Which devil? The devil in that man. Let me advise you. The devil in that man were not just devils. They were called legions. Legions are armies trained with a defined purpose. The devil is very organized, causing disorganizations. He's very organized. If the devil is not organized, Jesus, who made a statement that how can the devil cast out? How can the devil cast out devil? No. So he doesn't fight himself. He's very organized. Instead, most Christians are very disorganized. Am I communicating? Jesus said, let's get to the other side. The devil heard it. All hell broke loose. Let's see how you ascend. The moment you are comfortable where you are, you will have no attack. Just decide as a gospel artist that you want to shake this country and make the first move. It is your very close friend that will start. If your mother doesn't start, your departmental leader will start. If your departmental leader doesn't start, your best friend, that's the only time he or she will misunderstand you. But decide to be comfortable where you are. There will be no problem. La Goza Pradiga. Make a new decision about where to worship God now. Satan strikes. And some people don't know who is Satan. They are still looking for Satan who will appear in your room and say, don't go to that church. He knows you won't believe him. He passes through the one that has been sponsoring you. That one that has been sponsoring you, who has been okay. But the moment you want to get to a new territory, he or she breaks up and says, I stop sponsoring you now.
Stay tuned. Apostle Divine will be right back.
To get a full copy of this message, call us on these numbers, +237 652 848 6788 67366,
or email at transformerstv@yahoo.com.
Apostle Divine C.Okafor,
Major.